You've been training your head movement separate from your footwork, separate from your punching. The issue with that is in a real exchange, all three happen simultaneously. This drill is going to connect all three, and you can't fake your way out of it. Most people use a slip line, bobbing their head back and forth, and they just move their head in isolation, by itself, alone. The issue with that is when somebody's in front of you, you freeze. Your head movement stops, your punches lose their snap, and your footwork stops as well. The reason why is when you train like that, you're training a habit more so than a skill that's going to apply to the actual fight. The wrong way to use the slip line. Looks decent enough, but there's a huge flaw that's going on here. Here's what makes it harder than it sounds. Adding punches to your footwork sounds pretty simple. You move, then you punch. But the issue is, if you're not thinking about punching before you actually land, you actually miss your moment. And the roll to get from your back foot or to your front foot is often rushed. Your head has to stay all the way down until you get into the new position. If you don't, you're gonna get caught with the punch. And if you sparred before, you probably have. So this is how you would do that in a slow motion standpoint. If we notice here, if I rush to get my head from my front foot to my back foot and I don't stay down and low, I'm gonna get caught with the slip line, which is the same thing as far as if I got caught with the punch. If I think about just moving, then throwing the punch, I've already missed my opportunity to go ahead and land the shot. Here's the drill, 10 rounds, 30 seconds, no rest. Rounds 1 and 2, we're just gonna focus on the movement, shuffling forward, shuffling back, slowing down with the roll to get into that new position, shuffling forward, shuffling back, slowing down on that roll to get into that new position. Doing it again, all the way for 30 seconds, just focusing on the technique, making sure everything's correct. Round 2, we're gonna add a jab after the shuffle. Jab, jab, roll under, same thing. Jab, jab, roll under, same thing. Rounds 3 and 4, we're gonna add another shot, so 2 shots total. Each time that we move. Rounds 5 and 6, we're gonna add 3 shots. Making sure everything's correct. And lastly, on the last rounds, we're gonna add a shot on the roll, which is 4 shots. Only when we're going backwards and we're changing positions. Roll all the way, come up with a shot. 3 shots. Roll all the way, come up with a shot. Going through all rounds, no shot, single shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, then 4 shots. Lastly, for the last round, you're just gonna vary it. Maybe come up with no punch, maybe punch. 2 punches, maybe 3. Maybe 2, maybe the 4. Maybe 1, maybe 1. That's what you're gonna do for the last round. So no rest in between. Not only are you acquiring a skill, this is also conditioning. And conditioning is getting you in shape for the task that you prepared for at hand, whether you're a 3-round fighter, 4-round fighter, 6-round fighter, 12-round fighter, or don't fight at all. This is gonna help with your conditioning. I'm not just focusing on the movement right now, I'm paying attention to where my opponent is. That's what the slip line is for, and that's what I have it down here for as well, to visualize where my opponent is at each time that I move. They're either gonna be right directly in front of me on the slip line or the other side of the slip line. So as I move, I'm thinking about where my opponent is. As I think about where my opponent is, I can adjust my hands according to where I take my eyes and I see where my opponent is. That's all I'm doing, just practicing this position as I change position, seeing where my opponent might be. Now when we add the jab, I'm doing the same thing. Where is my opponent as I shoot the jab? Where do my hands need to be as I shoot this jab? What do I need to do after I shoot the jab? This is me allowing the slip line to be a visual cue where it helps me understand where I'm throwing these punches each time and where my hands need to be to get away and get back in. So that's just us throwing the jab and still adding those positions in each time. Making sure I stay low. Now when I add the 2 punches, it shouldn't even be about my feet anymore. I'm just focusing on my opponent. It's not the how, it's the why, it's the when, it's the where, it's the who. I'm not thinking about what I need to be doing with my feet, because if I'm thinking about that, I've already lost. So now I'm just focusing on where my opponent is each time I throw these 2 shots. Are they on the right of me, or are they in front of me? Same thing when I throw 3 shots. What is my opponent doing each time? Still getting back and forth with the feet. Maybe picking it up. Changing shots on the roll. Just paying attention to 3 shots. Making sure my eyes go where they're supposed to according to the slip line. Just going back and forth with it. And when we finally get into the 4 shots, now we're not even drilling. It's almost like we're fighting. The slip line is just the visual cue holding me accountable for each one of these shots. And if you notice now, I'm starting to throw a little bit more punches. That's the full drill, and the point of the drill is to make things so automatic and rep them so much that you can't get it wrong under any circumstance. And the job of that is to free your attention to what actually matters when you're fighting. Your opponent, removing all distractions, not how do I move my head, not how do I punch, not how do I move my feet. It's my opponent and what is their position according to me. That's the entire drill. Now, we did the drill alone. We did it slow. Nobody was in front of you. Everything happened perfectly. Here's a question I want you to think about. What's going to happen when somebody's in front of you? Comment below what you believe that answer is, because what most people say, that's where the next video picks up. I'll see you guys in the next one.